Hey, well, it's getting to that time in the evening, about 5 o'clock, and we're going to be seeing the last of the light soon. Darkness follows very quickly here in the Philippines, it seems, certainly around our house. But I wanted to just go over something that I was thinking about the other day about people of advancing, shall we say, advancing years, and how they lose, usually by surrender, to my mind, they lose a lot of the agility of their hands. And I do various exercises with my hands, which I thought might be useful to some people who perhaps are suffering with a stiffening of the hands. Now I'm going to turn the camera upside down in a makeshift fashion, but you will be able to see my hands and how it works. Now there are people, especially one particular guy who deals with all kinds of things on what I would call acupressure, and that is pressing on different parts of the body to go in with the meridians that go throughout the body and travel all around. And for those of you who have been and received, say, acupuncture, there's also acupressure, and the acupressure, to a large degree, you can do yourself. Now, when I've spoken to people who are in some cases older than I am, and I can see that they're losing the use of their hands. This is where some of the clumsiness comes in, dropping things, what they call sticky hands, where you think you've let go of something and actually you've you've still got a hold on part of it. Now I'm sure that this will be real to a lot of people, but anyway, I'll turn the camera around and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about as I'm doing it with my hands. I'm not saying that this is some incredible new thing. It's just a question of doing what any of you will have experienced if you go to a chiropractor. Chiropractor takes care of those parts of the body which need to be realigned, and that was the whole purpose of that kind of treatment. I've had a lot of help from chiropractors in my time, because generally I've tried to do things which, as one chiropractor told me, he said, "Terence, you haven't got enough muscle to do the kind of things that you try to do." Well, my hands are paying for it now, and I help them. I actually gain flexibility by doing the exercises, the little play exercises that I do. So, back in a minute. Okay, so here we are again, and you can see that these are my old time-worn hands. Okay, now one of the things that I've noticed is that sometimes there will be times when fingers get bent out of shape, and you can see that I've got two there which need to be realigned when I'm working on my hands. So it's a strange thing that one hand can work on the other and vice versa. See, but you can see there that that finger, if it was left to its own devices, it would come out over here, and has in the past. And now I've started to realign it. The other day I did this and got a big click out of it, so it's on the way back to normality, as close as it can be. Now, when you start to do your warm-up, and you're going to do some exercises with your hands, so this is a warm-up situation. So you've got the normal things of any kid the world over in a cold climate knows to do this, and they rub their hands, don't they, and they get some friction going and they get some heat, and that's when their hands start to loosen up a bit. And cold is what you associate with stiffness, or vice versa. So you can see that what I'm doing is just generally bending. Now, one of the things that anybody with a stiffening of the hands will tell you is that they can't form a fist. Well, I'll show you how to form a fist. You take the thumb of one hand and you put it there, and then you close the fist. Now what that does is it gives enough support to be able to perform that fist. And that's what all of these exercises are for, is showing you how to reinforce the fingers on the hands by doing various little tricks. So you see there that I'm rolling the thumb over and there. Right, so let's go from what I think of as the beginning, although I don't know that there is a beginning. Any little spots like this, which are what you could call a dent. If that was a car, it would be a dent, wouldn't it? So a little hollow spot there, and so you get the thumb and you give that a good working. Now the thing is, you will feel little twinges of pain, and the longer that you've left this, I mean, some of the people that I've seen tried to help have left it so long, and now their hands are really in need of a huge amount of help, and regular help at that. So there's one little place there that you're doing. Now when I know we're talking about hands, but when I massage and manipulate Beth's feet, which she apparently gets a great deal of relief from, I always go for the center point here. So that center point is one that I go for. Now the thing is, we get used to seeing the exterior view of the hands, and the fingers end there, don't they? That's where the fingers end. But of course, if you could see the hand without any skin and flesh on it, you see that all of these bones actually went down to a small, relatively small nucleus of bones which holds them all together. And you can see these are ligaments here. If you ever take a chicken foot, and the chicken foot will end here, obviously, and then you'll see the ends of these things coming out. Now if you can stomach doing this, which not such a bad thing, you get one of those things and you pull it, and depending on which one you're pulling, you'll actually see how a hand works. Well, leaving the chickens to their own feet, let's go and continue. Now this is another place that I find has a big reaction, and I go once again, finger and thumb, and I massage in there and get that, and massage and pull it about. Then I come round. Obviously you will do these as much as is needed, and for some you might end up doing 5 or 6 minutes on this, but we'll just move on and show you what can be done. Now here we're looking past the knuckle, which I'm sure that God gave us this so that we could punch our fellow beings. That's what you would think, the way the warmongers are going. But of course it doesn't mean that at all. So you get the thumb in there again. Now you'll find that this underneath of the knuckle, there's the knuckle. Now underneath that knuckle, the under knuckle, you can massage that and pull it about. Then you move on to the next one, and obviously there's a hollow spot there. So you get in there. This is what it looks like on the other side. Right? So I'm still got my fingers in here, and I'm pulling about. I rub that knuckle. Go on to the next one. Go on to the next one, turning the hand as you need it, and come in and just give a good work over to all of these points. Once again, get in there. This is a knuckle here. Go in there, right. Now, a lot of people are very flexible and do this often, can crack the hands. So you'll see them, and what they'll do is they'll pull on the fingers. And some, they'll get those bones to crack as they loosen. Now, if you're having a stiffening of the fingers, you can't just close the fist. See, if you look there, because I do these exercises, you can see that I actually do have a pretty tight fist. Wouldn't want to punch anybody with that, because any slack would certainly be taken up and would injure me probably more than them. But anyway, there's a fist, and that's what you would be aiming at getting. Now, one of the things I've seen, that elegant man who's always dressed in white and is in an idyllic place up on the mountains overlooking an incredible scenery, and he recommends flicking. So flick, 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 and then for this. So you're doing all of that flicking, and all the time you're getting the hand to be warmed up. Now, I've showed you how to pull on the fingers, right? So that's what you're going to do, and that's a fairly obvious thing, to get everything loosened up. Okay, so now we're fairly loose. Now, one of the things that's interesting to do is to get someone else to, did you hear that little crack? So, is to get someone else to point to a finger and ask you to move that finger without moving any other finger. So let's choose that very popular finger, as I have no one here to point, the middle finger. Can I move the middle finger without moving anything else? There it is. There it is. Right, what about the little finger? There it is. There it is. Now, if you're just starting and you've got stiff hands and you're unstiffening them, you'll find that quite hard to do, especially if you do there and you start to push. If I can show you, there's a limited amount I can show you here, but that tells you. So now you're going to start clenching fists one on the other. So you're right up against the knuckle, and you go this way, and you go that way, and you go that way, and you do that, and you keep clenching and letting go, pushing that way, pushing this, doing this one too. Now this is a good one. Now, you talk to some kids and ask them how flexible their hands were, and you'll be amazed. But my 84-year-old hands won't do what they can do. And here's about as much as I can get. But I've seen kids who can get this to touch here. Just amazing. What they used to call double jointed. Not sure whether there is such a thing as being double jointed. But anyway, now can you see that I naturally, out of habit, I go as we talk and I keep pushing on the hollow places. It's a natural thing for me to do. Now you can do this when you're in a waiting room. When you're waiting for anything, you can do this. Right? You're seeking to be able to achieve a fist. Now, just to go over that again, how would you get a fist? Take any one of your fingers of the other hand and pull around and do a fist. Now, the martial arts practitioners don't recommend that you go around hitting people with a fist if you're a novice, because people don't clench their fist, or sometimes not able to clench their fist. If you go around hitting people with a fist that is like this, that you can get a finger in. As you strike on here, that will collapse in and you'll have broken fingers, and it's very, very painful. When I was doing karate, I actually did a strike and I didn't have my fist properly clenched, and this got out of joint and was quite painful for quite a few weeks until the swelling went down. Right, so back to how can we take each individual finger and do something with it. Now you can't just push like this. That would actually, if you're having difficulty, that would actually be quite painful. That's quite painful for me to do that now. So what do? You need to get support. So you're going to put this finger under there, right? And then the second finger comes back and the thumb, and now we're actually exerting pressure on that first finger, but with a support. Show you that again. This is the finger we're going to work on. Take this finger and put it in here. Now get all of the rest of the hand as we can to support that finger. This is the finger we're working on. And we push and push. Now, whereas before, when I tried to do this and I didn't have that support in that hole there, it was quite painful. This is not painful, and it allows me to force mobility onto that finger, which normally I wouldn't be able to do. So there, on that, same again, and you can see automatically the second finger on the right hand comes in to provide support. So there we got it again, look, and we come in and we can press with this finger here and the thumb on the top, and we can get some pressure on there, which will help. Same again there, same again here, same again for the thumb. A little different for that, but in effect it's the same thing. Look, this finger, middle finger, is coming in to put pressure, and the first finger is providing a little bit of support so that you can do that. Will be the same on the other side. All the same. Right? Now as you do this, you will actually feel, you keep coming out from in the detail, and then you come out and you start pressing like this, and pushing, squeezing, pressing, there, seeing how your fist is coming along. Get the fist in there, get the thumb around, push, push, and we're pushing at the back as well. We're doing both hands. Now, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you'll find that you're better at coordinating these things with one hand above the other. Work at both equally and you'll get some good flexibility and good results. So that's it. Hope that's helping. Yeah, see a little crack there where I couldn't get it before. There. So actually get to know your hands. That might sound a silly thing to say, contradictory. Of course you know your hands, but your hands are among the most sensitive parts of your body. One of the things they couldn't duplicate easily on a robot was the ability for a robotic hand, to be able to hold a glass of very fine glassware and hold it without breaking it, and yet firm enough to pick it up, because the hands are so incredibly sensitive to touch. Thanks for looking in on me. Hope that helped. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me hear if you try this and you have some gains. Bye. I'll be very, very happy. Thanks a lot. Bye.